guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello, welcome if you're new. I'm Amanda, also known as Cake and Weights on Instagram, and I just want to thank you so much for tuning in to this video. So today we're going to be talking about overcoming the bloat and fixing some digestive issues as well. So let's get right into it. But I guess before we start, feel free, I would love it, appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Helps out my videos, helps out my channel, helps out my ego. And then leave a comment if you have any questions, if you relate, if you have any other tips. And don't forget to give it a like as well. So let's talk about what our goals are for digestion. So obviously we want to minimize bloat. So that's pretty clear. If you're feeling bloated, then it doesn't just disrupt your appearance, it disrupts your energy levels. You don't really feel like moving, you don't feel like doing as much. You're kind of feeling a little bogged down, maybe a little ill, maybe it makes you not want to eat. You know, all these things can be happening. So the goal, I'm just gonna go out and say it, our goal is to be having a daily bowel movement. So that's ideal, that's what we want to be doing. And sometimes that's just not the reality, especially when we're in a deficit. It can get hard. So we're kind of going to talk through some things to help this, to make this a little easier to beat the bloat as well. So I'm going to do it in order of importance here, in order of things that we do want to be checking. So the first thing I would say to check is your fiber intake. So a lot of people think, if I'm constipated, if I'm not having a bowel movement daily, I should just eat more fiber. Which, if you're low on fiber, yes, but the other issue could be that you're eating too much fiber. So eating too much fiber actually causes the same sort of issues as eating too little fiber. So that's going to cause that constipation, that bloat. It's just going to not make you feel great, and your digestion system is just going to be not great. So yes, definitely want to get that happy middle, which is different for everybody, but some general rules of thumb. And another disclaimer, like I just said, different for everybody. So if you're like, no girl, I can't eat that much, and then you start eating that much because I said it, I'm not saying that this is specific to you. I'm saying that these are general rules of thumb. So, general rule of thumb, a lot of females can be optimal with about 25 grams of fiber a day, right? So like 20, 25, maybe 30. I have worked with vegan clients before, and just due to their diet restrictions and the fact that they're eating a lot more plant-based, or they're eating all plant-based, they have higher fiber intake, and they're fine on that. They usually they come to me eating like 90 grams of fiber though, and that's very, very high. So we get it down to closer to like 45, and they start feeling a little better, feeling a little more energized. Their digestion is working a lot better for them. So yeah, so vegans, like if your body has kind of been primed to eat more fiber, then, or you just don't feel any issues, like you're like, I can eat 45 grams, I can eat 50 grams. If that's you, then cool, do you. And then for men, I'll also say, just in case men are watching this, or you're kind of watching this and you want to relay some information to one of your male family friends, whatever, 35 grams for men is generally the optimal level. But play around with it, do what feels good for you, but that's typically what I find. And fiber can be a hard one for people to hit, for sure. I have so many people come to me and they're eating like under 10 grams of fiber. We need to fix that, right? So we're slowly increasing, and with fiber actually ties into the next one. So whenever you're increasing your fiber intake, you want to also be making sure that you're drinking enough water. So the next thing that I advise you to look at if you're having any bloat, any digestive issues, is your water intake. So you've probably heard this if you've been around me for a little bit. A gallon a day keeps digestive, okay, I've never actually said that. I never even finished the thing because I don't have anything. Digestive issues at bay, I guess. A gallon a day keeps digestive issues at bay. So I like to have my gallon here. It's, I don't even know what time it is. I think it's 1 p.m. and I'm at 3 p.m. So yeah, But a gallon a day. But I will also say, if you're currently drinking like 30 ounces of water a day, don't like right now decide I'm gonna get a gallon today. Like, start slow. So usually I'll be like, hey, you're getting 30, let's move it up to 40 to 50 ounces a day. And then after you hit 50 ounces, hopefully within like a week or so, then hey, let's move it up to 60, 70 ounces. Once you're hitting that, after like another week, cool, let's move it up to 80, 90. So we're moving it up slowly. A gallon is 128 ounces. So that's generally a good place for people. You can definitely drink more than that as well. People have come to me and they're like, I'm gonna drown myself if I drink a gallon a day or more than a gallon a day. No, you won't. Don't drink the whole gallon at once. Like, if it's like 8 p.m., don't be like, oops, I only drank 10 ounces. Now I have to drink the rest. No, don't do that. That is going to be bad for you. I don't know if it's going to cause you to go to the hospital. Totally might. Don't recommend it. That's not good. So yeah, and don't go from 0 to 128 either. Also not good. So, but you will not. I guess the whole point is you're not going to damage yourself by drinking a gallon a day. I have been doing that for years now. I've actually been up to 2 gallons a day as well. So I am proof that I'm alive. And then the third thing we want to look at for any digestive issues and bloating would be food sources. So we see this a lot, especially when you're in a deficit, going towards more of the diet foods, right? So the sugar replacements, what are they called? The artificial sweeteners that could be in diet foods, and those could be causing issues, especially if you're eating them in excess. Some people literally just cannot do artificial sweeteners at all. They have like one sip of a Diet Coke and they're like bloated so much. But most people can have like, you know, a little bit of it. But when you're in a deficit and you're kind of like, I'm in a deficit, so I'm gonna soak my, oh my goodness, my pancakes with Walden Farms. Gonna put Walden Farms salad dressing on my salad with a Diet Coke, and then, you know, add some artificial sweetener to my coffee. Like, you know, if you're doing literally like every single meal is like artificial sweeteners all over, or it might not even be artificial sweeteners, just kind of audit your day. If you're like, I felt a little bloated yesterday after lunch, what did I have at lunch? Go back and be like, oh, okay, maybe it's the Greek yogurt I had or something, because dairy could definitely be one of those things. I can eat dairy, but if I eat a lot of dairy at once, I ain't feeling very well. I used to make this yummy dessert with, if you go back on my channel, you'll actually see it, Greek yogurt with some mix-ins and then ice cream on top. That's a lot of dairy. And I didn't feel that great afterwards, but it was so good that I kept eating it until one day I was just kind of like, you know what? I think I'll skip feeling poorly after, and I'll just have the Greek yogurt or just have the ice cream, and maybe later I can have the other one, right? So food sources can definitely, and it's different for everybody again, you know, and it doesn't mean that you have an intolerance to it. Maybe you just can't eat that amount of it, or maybe it's just not the best thing for your digestion. Maybe it's not the best, or maybe it's a mix of certain foods altogether. So yeah, just kind of audit your day, I would say, especially if you're like, if you've been feeling bloated. So this is super easy if you're tracking your food intake. You can kind of be like, today is Monday, right? And then you're like, well, I feel a little bloated. What did I eat yesterday? So super easy. And then you can kind of go back. And then if you have like the same lunch every day, and then you're like, something irritated me, let me take this out and see if that's a thing. If it's not, let me take this out and see if that's a thing. So you can kind of like, you know, take certain foods out to see if it improves the symptoms. And number 4 will be stress management. So if you're super stressed out, that is going to impact your digestion. So your gut is your second brain. So it really does impact everything with like digestion. It impacts everything. So if you're super stressed out, it's definitely going to make that process a lot less a lot less like working well for you. It can definitely cause bloating, it can cause digestive issues, constipation, or on the other side, it could cause loose stools. So it could cause the opposite as well. So it's high stress, you might see that. Those are the times that you're like, oh, I'm super bloated, oh, I'm constipated, I'm just not feeling great. So yeah, so definitely working through stress management. I think I have a video on here about stress management. If I don't on here, then in the link in the caption, I have a link that has a freebie. It's a 2-day video training, and that goes over basically like probably all these things. It's gonna go over your nutrition, your workouts, as well as sleep, stress, hydration, and mindset. So you can download that. It's free, so just click the link and it'll be sent to your email. And then the next thing, so this is number 5. Yes, number 5, caffeine intake. If you're drinking a lot of caffeine, that disrupts a lot in your body, but it will disrupt your digestion as well. So kind of weaning off that little by little. Again, I wouldn't recommend going cold turkey on caffeine, because you've probably either done it yourself or known somebody who's gone cold turkey off caffeine, and then they have all these withdrawal symptoms. They have bad headaches, they're groggy, they're angry, they're not good. I remember in middle school, one of my teachers was like, I went cold turkey off caffeine and I have a pounding headache right now. So I think we just like watched TV that day because I did not want to teach. But anyways, so that's my experience. I was like, ooh, honestly at that point I was like, ooh, I never want to drink coffee because I don't want to get addicted to caffeine. I drink coffee now, but what I recommend is doing, oh my goodness, what is it called? Doing like oh my goodness, my words are not in my head right now, but kind of, I can't think of it, but weaning yourself off slowly from caffeine. So maybe you're drinking 300 milligrams, which is like the absolute max I would recommend for females. So maybe you're drinking 300 milligrams, and then the next day you're gonna go down to 200. You're gonna stick there for like at least a few days, maybe a week. Then you're gonna go down to 150, 100 to 150. And then you're gonna go down to like 50 milligrams a day. And then you can come completely off it for 2 weeks probably, I would say. Oh, it's a caffeine deload. My brain just started working, guys. So yeah, you'll come completely off it for like 2 weeks. And then that's when you can start slowly getting back into it, because guess what this is doing? This is building your tolerance. So the caffeine's gonna work better for you. And also you won't be as like, I need caffeine to function. So this is really if you're abusing caffeine. If you drink like a cup of coffee a day, that's probably like maybe 120 milligrams a day, I wanna say. So if you're drinking like a cup a day, like, that should be fine. If you're experiencing digestive issues with it and you've gone through everything else on the list, then maybe it's time to kind of like, you know, take that away for like a week or 2. But I don't see that really causing too much disruption inside of you. It's probably something else. But yeah, so that's really if you're like abusing it. Like a lot of like people who work out will do like pre-workouts, and they might do like another energy drink or coffee later in the day. And I've known females who drink like over like 400 milligrams a day, and that's crazy. That's ridiculous. I probably drank like I probably was on 300 a day for a while, and I would recommend every 6 weeks doing a deload. It's hard, it's not fun. But how I kind of do it is like I'll drink my pre-workout and my coffee in the afternoon, and I'll just take away the cup of coffee. Maybe if I really want something like coffee, I'll do decaf, and then I'll just do my pre-workout. Then I'll do like half a scoop of pre-workout, and then maybe like come off it completely. So that's my advice there with the deloads. We're really getting into a lot of different topics today. This is more than just about bloat and digestion in the end. And then the last thing to focus on, or to kind of look to fix your bloat and digestion, would be sleep. So if you're, honestly, I actually don't know if this list is in order, because sleep would probably be up there even further as well. So I said it was in order, but I kind of take that back. So sleep. If you're getting less than 7 hours a night, or like super low for you, so if maybe usually you get like 9 hours, but now you're getting 7, so even though 7's like in the range that's like acceptable, right, that's going to be good for your body. But if you're usually getting 9 and all of a sudden for like a week or two you've been getting 7, this could also be affecting you. But if you're getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, then that could definitely be messing up with your digestion and causing some bloating. Your body's not getting enough rest or recovery time, and it's not just you mentally that needs that rest or recovery, it's everything inside your body as well. So you definitely need to optimize your sleep. And the only reason why you would want to add anything like any sort of over-the-counter, any sort of prebiotic, I mean, if you want to take a prebiotic, totally cool, but I'm not telling, like, you know me, I'm a minimalist when it comes to supplements. If you don't want to spend the money on it, then these are the things that we need to be fixing. These are all free, right? You don't need to pay to fix any of these. But if you wanted to add like a probiotic, did I say pre? I meant probiotic, or like a greens drink, or like both of them combined, the only reason you would want to kind of supplement to aid your digestion would be if you've done everything, you fixed all of these for 2 weeks consistently. So it's not like I did it for 2 weeks, but in the middle there I missed 3 days. No, because then you need to restart that 2 weeks. So you'll kind of see that it's hard to keep all of these in check, and if you're constantly not doing that and then you're blaming something like an outside source, like, oh, it's because I don't take a probiotic or I don't drink my greens drink, then you actually need to reevaluate your lifestyle changes, right? And they're all free. So that's the cool thing. You can do this all for free. And then I will also add that for like temporary constipation, because in a deficit, sometimes you have like basically everything right, but being in a deficit elevates your stress. Now, the only way that you can fix that is to do like a diet break or something, and you'd want to do that too when you're seeing like physical, like your progress isn't going as well for you. You're maybe at a plateau, but oh my goodness, where was I going with this? Oh yes, but in a deficit, if you're in a deficit, then that can definitely make you not have a daily bowel movement because there's less food coming in, which means that there's not as much movement coming in. Oh, I totally forgot one. I didn't write this one down. When I said movement, I thought of it. Let me just finish this thought real quick, then I'll get into the last thing to focus on. So basically what I was saying is for temporary constipation relief, I recommend drinking senna tea. So that's basically herbal tea. So senna leaf is like some sort of like herbal leaf, and it can help things regulate in your digestive tract. I have taken Metamucil once because I was like, oh, I'm not being super regular right now. My fiber intake's a little low, so let me take this. I can't tell you the pain that I had that night. Definitely not something I can recommend from my personal experience because I was not in a good place. I was sitting on the toilet and I was in pain that night. So a little TMI there, my apologies, but if it works for you, that's cool. It didn't work for me, so I just recommend senna tea. It's a lot lighter, and it's natural, and it doesn't have like, so I think that it's like the Metamucil has like the psyllium husk, which expands, which I think is how kind of like things, one of the reasons things kind of start moving, and I think that that's kind of what got to me. It kind of makes sense because it's like expanding. So yeah, I could see how that would be an issue. But the last thing to focus on in for free would be movement. So make sure that you're moving. If you're not having a daily bowel movement and you're also sitting all day long, then take a walk. Make a habit of taking like walks in the morning, getting some sort of movement in. Maybe you like to dance, maybe you're doing your weightlifting still with walking with the weightlifting. and then take a walk in the afternoon. Maybe your lunch break you can take a walk. In the evening you can take a walk. So moving is going to get things moving. So those are all my tips. So I'll just kind of recap them real quick. Fiber, watch that fiber intake. Water intake, watch your food sources, do a little audit of your day. Watch your stress. If your stress is super high, then make sure that we're doing those stress management techniques I have in the freebie down below. Caffeine intake and sleep, and then movement as well. Make sure that we are moving. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Hopefully you can implement these, beat the bloat, get your digestion more regular, and start feeling more energized, feeling lighter, and feeling better. So thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate every single viewer here. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back next time. Thank you so much.